Welcome back. A company that pioneered e-commerce has plans to make a strategic shift. The Wall Street Journal reports that Amazon will open a traditional brick and mortar shop. According to the Journal, the store will open in Midtown Manhattan near Macy's Flagship store on 37th Street. We turn now to an e-commerce expert for insight into Amazon's reported plan. Richard Doherty is research director for the Envisioneering Group. He joins us by Skype from Seaford, New York, near my hometown. Welcome to the show, Richard.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Now, we understand that this is just one store. Of course, New York City certainly makes a lot of sense, very strategic, but Amazon apparently plans to open up many more stores.
Well, we think New York at holiday season makes perfect sense, but I think it's reasonable they would be in dozens and maybe even more than 100 cities within a year or two.
You know, Richard, I think this is incredible here. The fact that they do so much business online, but it makes perfect sense for people who even buy online. This particular store, I understand, is almost like a warehouse kind of thing. So, for instance, if they purchase something they don't like, they can take it back to the store without having to send something back. I think this is incredible.
Yeah, I think it's UPS and FedEx and Postal Service that may lose from this in New York. But people do return products, and that's a disappointment for them, for the consumer. And no one likes to have that disappointment in a product. You like to feel it firsthand, go home with it happy, and then be able to take it back if it's in the neighborhood.
You know, I got to ask, how will this affect other brick and mortar stores? I'm pretty sure they're shaking in their boots right now as a result of this.
Well, the Amazon effect has been talked about for about 10 years now, and every brick and mortar retailer, of course, has an online division. A lot of stores from Target to Micro Center to Best Buy will allow you to order something online and pick it up in the store for that convenience. But they always chase Amazon to see, how do you guess what these consumers want? How do you do such a good job? And that's got them scared.
Well, yeah, also scary is that more than half of people are shopping online now. And of course, Amazon, as you know, they're the biggest internet marketer, I think, outside of China. But here's something that I find very fascinating. Not only are they going to open up brick and mortar stores now, they're going to start to produce some of their own products. Tell us about that.
Sure. Well, of course, Amazon knows better than anybody else on the planet what sort of products people like. So whether it's a power generator or an escape ladder from an apartment window, if they see a name brand doing well and a second brand doing well, they go, hey, we can make that. And so on an Amazon search, you'll see the name brands, and then you'll see something for perhaps a third lower cost or half the price, and it's made by Amazon. And they're doing that with electronics more and more now as well, not just dry goods.
Right, and hopefully they'll be as good, and maybe some of their phones won't bend in your pocket or take off your hair when you're trying to call somebody on the phone. Listen, Richard, the other thing here is, of course, we live in a capitalist society here, and we're talking about competition. How do you expect to see some of these other brick and mortar stores respond to Amazon?
Well, actually, I think it's going to be a win-win for consumers this year. I think we're going to see all the brick and mortar stores that have some online presence, and almost everyone does, up their game, do better to cater to consumers. We may see this in the form of discounts, which would make this a really good holiday season for everyone.
Richard, you have a combination here of people purchasing products online and, of course, being able to go to a store. I guess the question is now, how will this affect internet sales as a result of this new venture by Amazon?
Well, an awful lot of internet sales these days, you'll see people at a Best Buy, at a Costco, at a Target, at a Walmart, checking on their phone, and they're checking prices, and they go to the store. It's called showrooming, to see the product firsthand, but they'll buy it at another store or online if they can find it cheaper. So Amazon's going to hope to cut that out, and the other stores are going to try to compete.
Okay, and Richard, last question for you here. Would you expect that a lot of people who are buying online right now might do a 50-50 thing and perhaps may not spend as much online and perhaps may be going to Amazon to their brick and mortar store?
I think we're going to find out well before Black Friday. I think it's going to be a Black Friday November this year. All the consumer surveys and those that we've interviewed, people want to shop earlier. They do expect bargains. They do love competition, and everybody should be a winner in this, except perhaps the shareholders of some of the companies.
That's right. Very interesting Black Friday indeed. Richard Doherty, thank you so much. And my regards to Seaford, New York.
Glad to be here.
All right.